Renato, congratulations on the 50 test clean jacket. How much of that was you didn't want to cheat and how much is you just didn't have the money to afford the steroids?
Now I am the cleanest athlete over here today, so thank you so much. Maybe you guys sponsor me. But to be honest with you, I was happy. Like he said, I didn't even consider that, but I have been in UFC since 2014, and to me it was a huge guarantee to have the anti-doping, because we know back in the day a lot of people used to cheat, and one thing everybody hates is cheater, you know. So I'm happy with the program, I'm happy with UFC, and that's awesome. Thank you so much.
You mentioned being in the UFC since 2014, and yet for some reason in this fight with Beneil, everyone looks at you as the younger up-and-coming guy, and he's this old veteran that you need to get rid of.
Because I'm young on my mind.
Is it strange to prepare to fight a guy, fight against someone else, and then have to go back to the gym and prepare for the same guy that you were originally going to fight?
Not really, because in the end of the day, I use the same training partners, I use the same system, but I had more time, and I focus more on my dieting, on my training. So this camp was even better than the last one.
Does it benefit you that you both had a camp, but you got to compete and he didn't, or does it benefit him because he didn't have to get into a fight?
I don't know. Benefit me that I got a lot of money, you know. So I think that's what I want, and that's what I got, you know. And I got this opportunity, and I was happy. And sometimes life throws at you a challenge. I come up short, but now I have the chance to get back, to beat Dariush, and to climb the rankings again. So I'm happy.
In a way, it's obviously the fight with Islam didn't go your way, right? But in a way, this is the best case scenario because now he's moved up. It's not like you've got a loss to the existing champion. So do you feel a bit revitalized that your opportunity at a belt might come sooner than you would have had it should he have stayed?
I don't care about rankings. I don't care about anything. I want to fight for the belt next, not next. I want someday again with better preparation. But that's not up to me. I have to beat Beneil Dariush. I have to give a good speech to everybody. I have to bring more fans to my side. And this is going to happen, you know. I have to become more popular to fight for the belt. A lot of people think UFC is sports, but UFC is entertainment. They want to sell tickets. They want to sell merchandise, and that's the truth. And that's why I'm trying my best to be sellable.
I think it's working. Good luck.
Thank you.
Does your jacket say Money Moicano? Renato?
My jacket says Money Moicano. That's awesome.
In January when we spoke to you before your fight that didn't happen with Beneil, your exact quote was, I'm going to beat the shit out of an old man. This time I saw you interview you and you said you were going to kill him. So I guess what's different this time that you're going to kill this guy instead of beat him up?
The difference is somebody told me that he's only 15 days older than me, so I have to kill him now because that means I was calling myself old the whole training camp and Saturday night can only be one old man standing, and this is going to be me.
Has it felt like, you said this camp was better than the last one, but has it felt like one long camp to you, considering you've been preparing for the same guy for like 8-9 months?
Not really, because after the fight, I took a little time off and I focused on my social media, especially on my Portuguese channel, Shootout. Faz o M aí, galera do YouTube. So I focus a lot on my social media and grow a lot, especially my YouTube in Portuguese. I was doing podcasts and doing stuff. I was open a gym. I was focused and I was doing other stuff than fighting. And then I get back to training, and then I had a good training camp. So it was not like 9 months just thinking about I have to beat this old man Dariush. No, was good.
And obviously, the main event on Saturday is your weight class for the vacant title. There's a lot of argument over who should get the shot after that. Should it be Arman again? Should it be Gaethje? Should they do Paddy, Ilia? Obviously, you want to make a statement, but who do you think is the closest? Because you said it's not about rankings, it's about popularity at this point. Who do you think deserves the shot after Saturday's main event?
I think if Topuria wins, they're going to put Paddy, because that's going to be a big fight. Even though Paddy don't deserve, it's like you say, it's entertainment, he sells, people like him, and he is a better fighter than I thought. He did good against Chandler. That means or Chandler sucks, or Paddy is very good. we're about to find out, because I think Topuria gonna smoke Paddy if they fight. That's gonna be a easy money, but it is what it is, you know. I think if we have merit on the sport, I would like to see Armand Tsarukyan, because he is the #1 contender. But like I say, this is not a sport. This is a sport, but more they want to sell tickets, and rankings really doesn't matter.
Well, I think Armin's weighing in as the backup for Saturday anyway. So do you think that means like he's most logically next, especially if Charles wins, he has that win over Charles already?
No, I just think like if something happened, they don't want to give me money again, you know? They say, hey, put Armand Tsarukyan. This guy is already got good money, so I don't want to pay him again.
Renato, who do you have winning in the main event?
Unfortunately, Topuria. I'm saying that with a broken heart. You know, I'm a huge Charles Oliveira fan. I wish this guy could speak English so you guys can see the emotion, the connection that he has with the fans, especially being from a very poor background. You know, the way he communicates himself in Portuguese is amazing. I am a fan. But Topuria beat two of legends on his previous fight, you know. He beat Volkanovski, that you can arguably tell that on the first fight, Volkanovski did very good. And then Max Holloway, and Max Holloway just knocked Gaethje. So Topuria is very, very dangerous, very, very dangerous.
What were your thoughts on Islam moving up to welterweight? And, you know, since you've been in there and fought him, how much success do you think he's going to have at welterweight?
I think he's going to have success against JDM. I'm not so sure, but I think he did the right thing, you know, move up, try to get 2 belts, and then stop, like Khabib did, you know. If you keep fighting enough, you're going to lose. We saw that with Anderson Silva. I don't know, maybe some people here are younger than me, and they didn't even see the Spider fighting. But when Anderson Silva was fighting, was like legendary. Everybody, he was undisputed, the best fighter of all times, and then he lost, and then everybody forget about him. So if you want to keep your legacy, you should fight, and then try to fight for another belt, and then retire. Do like Khabib, because I remember Jose Aldo, I remember so much fighters that they lost on the end of their careers, and then kind of the legacy were ruined. So I think Makhachev is doing what he was supposed to do. I think he beat GDM, and then if Topuria wins, he get back and fight Topuria, and I think that's a good career.
And last one for me, I think the most interesting aspect of this weekend's fight with you and Beneil is the ground game. Both you guys have very good jiu-jitsu. Who, in your mind, has the better jiu-jitsu between the two of you?
I think that's a good question. That's a very good question. I think Beneil Dariush has a better ground game than me, so he has a better guard, and I think I have better jiu-jitsu game on the top. You know, if I can put him down, I will do like Benoit Saint-Denis. I'm gonna use my elbows, you know, but if he put me on the ground, that's going to be trouble.
Here, Renato. Here. Good afternoon. Here, Renato. Talking about your YouTube channel that you said recently, we could see you training with your ATT training partner, Mateusz Gamrot, which has an amazing display of wrestling and is also a former opponent of Beneil Dariush. We've been talking also about wrestling and jiu-jitsu. Do you think that the key in order to get the win this Saturday is your wrestling and your jiu-jitsu, or do you think that the fact that both of you are great grapplers are going to strike more?
I think it's going to be a very interesting fight, looking like analysts, you know, because we both have good jiu-jitsu game, like you say. We both suck at wrestling. We're not good at wrestling. And we both are, like, it's kind of different, you know. I think I am a sharper and better striker than him, and I think he got more power on his left hand and on the hooks. So it's going to be a fun fight. I don't know what's going to happen. This is MMA. Everything that I think about a fight, it happens on all the way, but I'm ready for whatever happens.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Renato right here in the back. Renato, you're one of the favorite personalities for a lot of the fans. Outside of maybe your friends and teammates, is there a fighter on the microphone that you really like to listen to?
I used to love Chael Sonnen. I know some people don't like him, especially Brazilians. Me, myself, I hated him. I remember in 2013 or 12, something like that, I was a kid. I was not in UFC. And then I was almost asking my like friends to give me money so I could go to the UFC Rio, so I could like sucker punch him. I wanted to, although I know this guy gonna beat me, but I'm gonna punch him and gonna run. And now I like him because the stuff, because I know that's a character, you know, that's not what he really believes. He was just trying to draw attention, and not only draw attention, because draw attention is easy, but to be smart with the mic is very hard. And I remember after the interviews, the stuff that he say, he's a fucking genius. Not on YouTube though, on YouTube he sucks.
Oh my gosh. In January at the press conference, I think most people would agree you stole the show, and that was a big part of why the UFC also wanted you to main event when Arman pulled out. Do you have anything planned for this Thursday? You get another press conference again with Beneil. Do you have any big plans?
Not really. I was surprised on the last press conference because everybody was calling money. So right now, UFC, you see, I'm a popular guy. We need to raise more money for Moicano. But jokes aside, I never think on what I'm going to say. You know, I just have a lot of stuff on my head, and when people ask, I talk.
Are you going to be throwing out any more fake money at the weigh-ins?
No more fake money. Now I will throw real money. So prepare for the $100, bro.
Let's go.
Renato, right here. Before your loss to Makhachev, you were on a four-fight win streak, including that great performance in Paris against Beneil Dariush. What version of Renato Moicano can the fans expect to see this Saturday?
A very hungry one, like you say. I was coming maybe the best win streak of my career, you know, because I count as a 5 because I lost to Rafael dos Anjos, a fight that I took not on 155, that was 160. So I had like 4 win streaks with 4 submissions or knockout stoppages. So I was going good. But then they call me 24 hours and they say, hey, you're going to fight with the best fighter in the world. Say, okay, and I lost. I come up short, but I still got it. I still want to be on the top. I still want more money. So you guys can expect somebody that wants to climb the rankings and get more money.
Thank you.
Hey, Renato. I saw you recently opened up your gym, Kingdom Martial Arts. How has the first month been, and have you learned anything new about martial arts by seeing it from a different perspective?
Brother, I would say thank you for the question, but I knew you had asked that question. But thank you so much, no matter what. And I just opened a gym in Florida, so if you guys can check it out, Kingdom Martial Arts, especially for kids, you know. We have anti-bullying program. We want your kids to be very safe and to be very confident on yourself and help the community. So if you are in South Florida, Kingdom Martial Arts, BJJ, MMA, Jiu-Jitsu, and kickboxing for kids and for adults too. You know, I don't want people that want to be fighters. I want people to be better citizens and to have a good workout. Okay, so check it out, Kingdom Martial Arts. Thank you so much, Jake.
Renato over here. After UFC 311, your teammate Grant Dawson, he told me a funny story about you. He said you were talking about Joaquin Buckley, and he approached you, and you said you don't speak English. Could you elaborate on that story?
Yes, at the time, like last year, I was in the International Fight Week, and was me and Gilbert talking, and back in the day, Joaquin Buckley wanted to fight Gilbert. And then he approached me, and he started to speak in English, and I didn't understand a lot, but I say, hey, sorry, my English is not that good. And he say, hey, I watch your fucking podcast every week, my brother. Don't come up with that shit. I know you speak in English. But then I say, man, this guy want to fight Gilbert, and Gilbert is my friend, so I said, no, I don't speak in English. Thank you so much, guys.